Hey, my name is Vego and I'm glad that you found this video. I lived close to 1 year as a Japanese student in Japan. And recently Japan is as popular as never before, like the tourist numbers are skyrocketing and maybe your Japan trip is just around the corner in 2026. I was looking around on YouTube and there are a lot of people who do like packing videos and stuff where they say you need to walk a lot in Japan and tell you you should bring your Nike Air Max in which you can walk freely and good for a long time. This is not important and I will give you the actual important stuff that will make your Japan trip easier and the basic stuff that you sometimes need to find out. Not important like which shoes should you bring, the really important stuff like can you drink the tap water in Japan? Don't you need a visa? I cannot speak Japanese. How do I survive in Japan? How do I order stuff? Which kind of adapter for your smartphone to charge it do you actually need? I don't want to waste your time and you probably don't want to waste mine, so just let's go. The first thing I will start about is the money. In Japan they use yen and the yen is way weaker than euros or American dollars. So just to make it simple, you see a lot of different prices and the numbers go so high up that you sometimes think what the actual hell is going on. Don't make it complicated. I always tell myself 100 yen are 60 cents. So 1,000 yen are 6 euro or 10,000 yen ichiman will be 60 euros. Depending of course on the exchange rate, this can differ a little bit, but if you will go with this money, you always have an estimated sum which will goes easy. I have seen a lot of tourists who sees basic stuff for 200 yen in the konbinis, like in the supermarkets or just everywhere they go, and it's always like Google, how much is 300 yen? Make it simple, 100 yen 60 cents times 300 yen, 1 euro and 80 cents. Make it simple, enjoy your time and not always be around with your smartphone. In Japan, cash is still king. There are a lot of stuff that you can only buy with cash, but also credit cards and like digital payments with your smartphone is becoming more and more popular. But I would really recommend you always having like at least a 10,000 yen, so the double of this, like ichiman, always at hand, that you're ready for whatever comes across your way. There are still smaller shops which only takes cash, or the train card we need to charge with only cash. But this is a topic for later. We covered the cash option, but of course we have cashless as well. You can bring your American Express, your Visa, your MasterCard, but these companies have their own exchange rate behind it. So you have your euros, you have your American dollars on that card, and when you're paying in Japan in yen, kind of like they'll do the conversion rate for you, but you always lose around 3 to 5% per exchange. These exchange rates aren't that good. But now comes the game changer. I'm not sponsored in any kind of way, but this service, this card is called Wise, and I used it for my whole time living in Japan. Every time I go there for traveling, it is just a really game changer. You can load up this card with your normal currency, American dollars, euros, whatever, and internally they have an app where you can just exchange those euros, those dollars for yen or whatever other currency you were wishing for. Now you have this card with yen inside of it. So now you're going to konbini, you're going to a restaurant, and you can just pay naturally in yen the same way as local people do. So you don't have the credit card system and stuff behind it taking always like 3 or 5% for conversion rate. You're really saving up a lot of money over time with this system. And kind of like internally, when you change from your euros to your yen, a lot of people use this service, so you're getting really close to the actual exchange rate when you Google stuff compared to the credit card systems behind it. Big recommendation. Just sign up and get yourself a card before going to Japan. No one has money around. Just save this card and then you can buy some ice cream more, enjoy your time, and probably will save up around $300 on your big trip in total, I would say. And as I said, you can just put in this card in the ATM, plug it in there, follow the instructions. Of course, you can also do that in English. They will guide you through the process and then you will get your lovely cash. The ATMs do not have a special conversion rate because this is already covered with the Wise card, right? Because we have our yen already on the card, but you will always have a fee. And this fee is normally 220 yen for kind of like getting cash out of the machine with your normal card. 220 yen will be 100 yen will be 60 cents, times 2 will be 1 euro and 20 cents, and a little bit above, like 1 euro and 50 cents. Quick maths! For kind of like just getting the money out. And if you're doing it like this, it is not important if you're getting out 5,000 yen, 10,000 yen, 50,000 yen, you will pay on top of whatever you're taking out plus 220 yen. Really easy to understand, but the only thing that is important, on Sundays as well as shukujitsus, so seasonal holidays, this cash out fee is a bit more expensive. Then you can sometimes pay like 600 yen just because the day is different. That is a bit stupid system from Japan, but just as you know, try to always do it on normal weekdays. Outside of money, the next thing that we will need is an adapter. You can look at this one. This is the normal adapter for like plugs that we use here in Germany. But as you can see, this one will not work in Japan. And the one that we're needing is this one. You could say it looks a little bit similar to the European one, but the siding is different. So you will never be able to plug this in a consent in Japan. You will need one like this and just put it in, and then you can put in here like the actual one that you have from Germany, and you can use this just fine. Now we're really getting close to Japan. Don't you need a visa? No, you actually don't. Do your own research, but most countries do not need a visa for entering Japan. If you're from Europe, if you're from America, if you're from Australia, you could enter just as a tourist, no extra documentation needed. You can just enter the country and you will granted a tourist visa for 90 days. Approved! Of course, you're not allowed to overstay on that 90 days, but if you want to stay longer, it's super easy. Before the 90 days end, you will just go back to the airport, fly one day to Korea or one day to Taiwan, which are really close to Japan. Stay there one night, kind of like have a look at Seoul, for example, in Korea, and then fly back to Japan. Then you left the country once, came back, and you will be granted a new tourist visa for another 90 days. So in total, you can stay without any special visas, a total of 180 days in Japan without any struggle. But you need to leave the country once to kind of like get a new 90 days. Another really important step is Japan is a really far away country, and of course you have a border inspection before entering Japan. You are not forced to do it, but this is a big recommendation from me. You should do or install the Visit Japan app application. This is an application in which you need to fill out why you want to come to Japan, like for tourist reasons, where do you want to go, where are you going to stay, and you will do a declaration for your luggage.
Anything in your bag, any dangerous items, any weapons, nothing?
In Labantis.
Yeah.
So you will say, I don't bring any drugs, weapons or everything which is illegal in Japan. For example, like cheese and stuff, you need to fill this out. You can do that in paper after landing in Japan, but I tell you, this will be a pain in the butt. You probably just left an airplane after like 20-25 hours of flying to Japan from wherever you started. You will be exhausted, I will promise you. And then you will stand in line kind of like in front of the border control, and you need to fill out while standing with everyone else there kind of like a document, and it's like really small, like thin paper, and it's most of it of course is in Japanese. It's like Chinese characters over it as well, so that the Chinese can use the same one. And you think, what the actual hell am I supposed to write here? Make it easy, download the Visit Japan web app, fill it out in advance, and then you get like one QR code for yourself and one QR code for your luggage, and you can just show them at the border control and get through easily without any kind of hassle. A big recommendation from me to you. Your first adventure after entering Japan starts: Japanese toilets. Probably everyone has heard of them. Probably you have seen a video before on television or on social media or whatever. These toilets can be a little bit tricky, but now you can see here all the buttons. You will sit down and you say, oh, what a nice feeling, because most Japanese toilets are heated. Everyone will love it. Now you see all the buttons and think, what the actual hell am I supposed to do here? The important part is Japanese toilets have a function to wash your butt, and the second one is kind of like ibide function for the ladies. Have a look. Now we have a button here. It's called oshiri, if the signs, which means butt. So pretty standard. You can just press it and the nozzle will kind of like come out of the toilet and start to splash water on your butt to clean it. And it will be an special experience, especially if you have never done that before. If we will have a look to the left, there's an orange button. It kind of like has a square in the middle, as you kind of like would press a pause button on a YouTube video. This is exactly what you would think. Press it and the spray will stop, the water will stop. And the button to the right with the red character on top is the bidet function. So this one is not spraying the water kind of like on your butt, but a bit more to the front so that the ladies can clean their private parts better. And also the same, if you started it with this button, then you will press the orange button to make it stop again. On the picture below, we have like the minus and the plus button. This one is the pressure. So if you will activate the bidet function or activate the butt wash function, kind of like the water spray will activate and is running all the time. Then you can press plus or minus to kind of like control the strength of the water. There are some people who are a bit sensitive to it and there are some people who like it a bit more strong. To be honest, like we're not used to it. We don't have really preferences. I would just say kind of like activate it. And if you feel strange because you're not used to it, put it kind of like down with the minus button. If you're having time and have fun, just kind of like find out the one that you like the most. But this of course can also vary with like different toilets and their toilet makers. The same thing actually goes for the bidet function for the ladies as well. And as you can see, there's like a music button as well. Japanese really like their private time. And if you will press this button, the toilet will actually start to do like water noises or sometimes bird noises so that it will cover your sounds of peeing. I don't know who needs that, but Japanese people are supposedly needing that. As we said, due to the fact that they have like these water cleaning your butt, the Japanese toilet paper is super thin. For example, the one that we have here in Germany is often like 3 layers, 4 layers, like really, I would say like soft, but therefore we don't have the water function. So the Japanese kind of usually clean everything with the water and afterwards just use the paper to get away the wet feeling, the wettiness of your butt. So don't expect like extra premium toilet paper that we are maybe used from our Western world. On the same end, Japanese toilets are free. And this is amazing because you don't need to pay for toilets. Japanese toilets are super clean. They have these cool functions, they're heated and they're clean. So you will immediately find out on your big trips throughout Japan, there are toilets everywhere. In train stations are toilets, in department stores are toilets, just outside in big parks are toilets, and all of them are free. You don't need to worry. Sometimes in konbini there are toilets, just easy to use. And one big recommendation, maybe for emergencies, you're really out somewhere in Japan. If you don't find any toilet, but you really need to go to a toilet, go into these huge pachinko halls. You will just see them kind of like, will think it's like slot machines and stuff. And it is, and kind of like these huge weird sounds coming from them. But they will also have toilets. Just go inside and have a search for the toilet and you will definitely find one. This is like an actual secret tip that Japanese people often use. Now we have the final steps. You're in Japan and you will find out that everything is in Japanese and you cannot read it. You cannot understand what is going on. Luckily, we are living in the 21st century and technology is our best friend. Just the best thing that you can do is download the Google Lens application and then just open the app and press down the translate button. And then you don't need to do anything, just hold your camera over whatever you want and just make a photo and the translation app will translate everything automatically from Japanese to German to English to whichever language you are speaking. Of course, this translation is not always perfect, but it is way good enough to give you all the information you need at restaurants, at konbinis, at items you don't understand. Real big recommendation. As I said before, I'm learning Japanese, so I can read some stuff, but Japan has so many kanjis, like these weird Chinese characters, that even I still haven't learned all of them, and it's really important, and even I still use this application in restaurants. The final thing that we have is the train situation in Japan, because now we understand how to read and how to pay for everything. How do we get around? And Google Maps is your friend. Not always in your home country, but also in Japan. For all my time living in Japan, I used Google Maps for everything. And it always brought me safely to my destinations, whether it was by train, by bus, just walking around. I always arrived where I wanted to be, and it worked just fine without any kind of extra problems. For example, we're starting here at my hotel and we want to go to Asakusa Station, like the huge big shrine in Japan. You will see it will tell us how long we need to go to the closest next train station and which line we should take. In Japan, they have really huge subway system, especially like in Tokyo, and they have all these lines. Don't only have numbers, they have colors. So just look at the color. For example, we go like here with the red one, just take it. At some point we probably need to change and go to the green one and do the final walking from there to Asakusa, and then we have arrived. Don't overcomplicate it, and I can promise you all my time using it, it always brought me safely to where I want to be. And even in like places I have went to multiple times, if Google Maps told me now you need to turn left because it is faster, I was not asking any kind of questions. If Google Maps said go left, I always went left. In Japan, if you want to use the public transport, buses, trains, you will need an IC card. They're so cute. Just have a look at my Ikoka card. But you can store money on these cards for your local traveling. You can normally buy also classic tickets in a subway in the machine, but this will be super exhausting. The first thing that you should get after getting out of the airport, after like arriving in Japan, is getting an IC card. I will make a separate video for how to get an IC card, so you can just check that out. This card, you will store money on it, and then you can always just tap this card on the machine and go through all the gates. If you go out of the train where you wanted to go to your specific station, then you also need to go through the gates, tap the card one more time, and the machine is kind of like automatically deducting how much kind of like you went from A to B, how much that is, and just kind of like will took that money from that card away. They always have like small screens on it, and you can see your current balance on the card. The most important part for these cards, they only run with cash. So you cannot feed this card with your credit card. You need to put them in the machine, say I want to recharge the card, and then enter your fresh bills. Put it inside, then you have 5,000 yen on top of it, and you are ready to walk around in Japan. There's one really final important step. For example, here in Europe, you are legally adult from the age of 18. But in Japan, you are an adult from the age of 20. And it does not matter if you're kind of like an adult in your own country. If you are still under 20, you are not an adult in Japan. And therefore, you're not allowed to buy cigarettes and smoke, and you're not allowed to buy alcoholic drinks. Not even beer, not the strong stuff. You are not allowed to do it. Really important thing. The problem is, us Europeans, us American people, with like beards and stuff, we often look for them way older than we actually are. So maybe you will get lucky and they will kind of like sell you cigarettes or alcohol without asking for your ID card. But if the police will check on you and they will find out that you are not 20, so not illegally allowed to drink or smoke in Japan, you will get into really huge problems. So if you are not 20, please refrain from smoking and drinking. Like not even refrain, it's illegal. Please think about it. Really, 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 really important so that you won't end up in big problems. On the same end, you are allowed to drink in Japan wherever you like. In the morning, in the park, somewhere just around the city, walking around having a beer, no big problems. But think about garbage. So if you have drank your beer, take it with you afterwards and please throw it away. Don't just leave it in the park. Sounds obvious, but the trash can situation in Japan is quite muzukashi. It's not as easy. You don't have a lot of public trash cans, but there's one hack go to the konbinis. All the konbinis, just usually kind of like directly, if you enter it left or to the right, next to the cashier is always trash cans for like glass and plastic or whatever. Just go in there with your empty beer can, for example, and just throw them away there and just leave the store. Please, please, please don't litter around the city. And for smoking, they have designated places where you are allowed to smoke. So please don't just smoke wherever you like. There are designated places where you are supposed to, where you are allowed to smoke. Just kind of like enter those boxes. They are like the ashtrays, and you will see a lot of other people smoking there. So just go there and have your cigarette there and not just kind of like do it in front of the hotel. And especially a lot of the hotels have special places where you are allowed to smoke. Maybe sometimes it's next to the entrance. Sometimes they have like special rooms indoors. Sometimes they have like a balcony or something where you can go to and have a cigarette. But please don't do it just somewhere where you want to and where you feel to. Stick to the rules and make everyone's life a bit more easy together. So this was actually everything. I hope you liked this video. If you have different questions, you think, hey, nice, really good, important information for my basic understanding of Japan, but I want to know this and that, just feel free to ask in the comments and I'll do my very best to answer them all carefully. And if you have really important questions that I maybe have forgotten, I will make a new video for this. Until then, stay healthy and enjoy your trip to Japan.